Bodacious ladies and gents, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? I be having too much fun doing that. I ain't gonna lie, so where my potheads at?
Beauties and gents, if you don't know, it's Mo TV. Hey, Tierra, what it do? They see me, I can only be me. If I stay true to me, sit back and relax. Matter of fact,
Where my potheads at? My stoners, my weed heads. I want to talk to y'all today because I want to be real. Because I used to be one of y'all. Honestly, let me be real. I will always be a pothead. I'm just choosing to not be one anymore. Okay, because I love a good smoke, but it ain't serving me no more. So I just want to let y'all know my reasons that I feel like weed ain't worth it. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes just because weed has messed up my mind. I can't remember shit no more. So yeah, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, whether I offend you or not, or I say something you like or you don't. You should still join the community because that's where the conversation goes. We gotta have people that disagree. So yeah, let's go. It served its means to me. And where I was at that point in my life, it also gave me the perspective to be able to connect to those who went down that path, meaning I'll understand because I've been there. Nobody wants to listen to anybody that they feel doesn't care or understand where they're coming from. So I felt the need. That's why I'm always trying to showcase my faults, my shortcomings, my bloopers, just because I feel like when people only see your perspectives of your good times only, they correlate that with perfection. And I am not perfect at all. I am still a child of God, which means I still mess up. I am human, and that is it. So, yeah. That takes me to my first point. The time that I spent focused on that and not where I could have been feeding my dreams and my goals, I could possibly be exactly where I prayed to be probably like 4 or 5 years ago, had I just focused on what I needed to focus on instead of putting my energy into where's the next sack, when can I get rid of plug, blah, blah, why can I... Where you focus your energy, that will grow. And that was what I was focused on. So I was growing nothing. I have nothing to show for that. But time, not even wasted, but just time. And some black lips that I had. Jesus. Number 2. I feel like weed gave me such instant gratification that I was impulsively reacting to things. I'm not weighing my decisions. I'm not seeking the value in certain things to understand what direction I should be going. I'm just moving off how I feel, going with the wind because I'm high. It affected my energy. And I don't mean my energy like, oh, my energy like cardio. I mean as though I feel as if one of my spiritual gifts is I'm empathic. And I have the gift of gab. But I feel as though when I was so focused on smoking, I wasn't actually watering my gift. I was solely focused on how I felt. And I was trying to stay in that high phase. So why are you talking to me? You blowing my high, right? Why are you asking me for advice? You blowing my high. Now, just because I'm high or I was high doesn't mean that people don't still see the gift on me and they're not going to be attracted to what it is that God has put in me. But it's like they can also see, well, you're not the light that I thought you were either. My light dimmed when I was smoking. It became to a point to where weed became a vice. And that's where I feel like a lot of people start lying to themselves. If you have to smoke every single day after work or after a long day, after whatever you want to call it, whether or not you think that's an addiction or not, it will slowly grow into that, because I didn't think it was at first either. It wasn't addiction at first. I just liked doing it. But because your body, our minds, the way we're wired, whatever you repeat is going to become routine and habit and comfort. So if you're constantly smoking every single day after work or after a long day or whatever, anytime you feel those type of emotions, you're going to correlate that with I need to smoke to feel better, which means you're going to do that a lot more than usual, which means that becomes your regular, which means if you're going to that instead of God to feel better, you've made that your God. If you're going to that instead of self-care to make yourself feel better, that's going to be your only self-care source, which means you're going to constantly feel tired and sleepy and hungry. And it's just so many other factors. Yeah. And you're never going to feel full. Never. Not even talking about food, but I mean that void you're trying to fill by not trying to feel, you'll constantly feel that if you never address what you're running from. And for a long time, I didn't know or even think I was running from anything. I keep saying, like, it wasn't until I broke my ankle and I had to stop smoking that a lot of things cleared up for me. Smoking clogs your vision. It clogs your thoughts. It clogs everything. You can't look, everything is foggy. If you're not clear, nothing's clear. And I feel like everyone's walking around this whole blurry. The vape pens have become so normal. People just take them to work and hit them, or be walking down the street, hit them. It's like everyone's so hazed. No one is actively trying to see themselves or the people around. No one's truly connecting in the way that God placed us here to connect, because everyone's numbing themselves. No one's feeling and dealing with the very things that they need to deal with to release that pain that's been holding on to them, elevate to the next level, and help the next person do it. I truly believe that's why we're here. We're not here for ourselves. We're not. And I think we go through certain experiences not only to be relatable and connect, but to humble us and to give us a different perspective, because you never know where you're going to end up in life and who you can connect with based off the experiences you've had. But that's another topic. So this one's a little extra deep, and it might go over some people's head, right? But stay with me, right? So they say God can hear your thoughts. Only God can hear your thoughts. The devil can only hear what you say, but God can hear your thoughts and what you say. And that's why the Bible is very intentional about being careful with your words and not saying everything out loud, and just being meticulous and strategic about what it is your steps are going to be. I say that to say, I feel like the enemy, Satan, the devil, whatever you want to call it, the people around, whatever, I feel like Satan knows our gifts and sees our gifts in us before we do. The same way other people can see the anointing, or not even just the godly stuff. They can see how blessed, or they see the light on you before you do. And because they don't want you to reach your greatness, it's called sabotage. The devil would throw certain people and situations in your life that are going to tempt you, that are going to throw you off, that are going to give you a trial and error phase, that is going to, if you let it, deter you from the direction that you were going, which is either going to slow your path or stop it. And I feel like for me, or I feel like for us, period, he tweaks with however he sabotages you based off what your gift is. My gift is, one of them is to dance. I love to speak. Another one is my mind. I just feel like the way weed attacked my mind, I wasn't valuable to anybody. And the enemy was very strategic in that, because he knew, well, if she's stuck here and she clogged there, she ain't going to be feeding nobody else because she's not working her mind. So I constantly was numbing it, which means I'm not helping nobody. And I feel like the enemy knows exactly how to sabotage you based off what you bring to the table. And everyone's can be different. Just being real, this ain't the same ish from what our grandparents were smoking. This ain't pure. It's not real. It's been messed with. The strands are manipulated. And I just feel like that ain't what God put here. Really, they say we're not even supposed to be smoking it, but that's not even what God put here. So it's like, I hate that. Oh, God, weed is pure. It's natural. God put it here. Yeah, God put it here, but that ain't what God put here. If they're manipulating our food, the air we breathe, the water we bathe and drink in, like, what makes you think they're not messing with the weed? If the government and all of them are constantly trying to affect our health, make us dependent on the government as far as like medications and certain things, or throw us off our path spiritually. Like, I'm a little deep for some people, so that might have went over some folks' head. But if they're constantly trying to deter us from seeing our own greatness, and they know that a lot of people, Black community, likes weed, why would they not manipulate it? They've been fucking with everything else. Oh, think. Hey, another point. The Lord said too much of anything is bad. So I just feel like if you're a pothead, if you're a stoner, that means you're excessive with it. Too much is a bad thing. I'm just saying. You can truly become addicted to weed. I hate when people act as if it's not a real thing. Anything that you abuse and you use over excessively, your mind psychologically is going to correlate that with however the pattern is. So if you're correlating and smoking that with like a bad day or a habit of routinely doing it, not even a bad day, but if you're doing it 24/7, your body will start to crave it. Your mind will start to crave it. You can be like, oh, I want to smoke. And some of us act out. I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them ones that be like, if I can't get it, I act out. I'm like, bruh, fucking tripping. Like, stop talking. Like, I'm antsy. I'm anxious. I'm short with people. Like, you can absolutely become addicted to weed. And I'm tired of people saying that you can't, because you can't. You can become addicted to anything. That's why he said too much of anything is a bad thing. Unless it's him. But then even still, you need balance. You need regular human life too, not just God. But, oof, 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 Jesus. I don't like that whole, oh, this sack was better than that. So I wasn't as high with that one. So then next time I'm thinking like, oh, I got to get this. Like, bro, no. I need consistency. And weed was not consistent for me. I don't like the fact that I can get a bad sack one time or a light sack and then get a good one and then get this. No. I don't like one of them had me tripping out one day. Driving home. Couldn't, like, my vision went blurry. That was a whole spiritual experience. But it's like, it's not worth it for me. That shit costs too much to keep up with. I ain't gonna lie. For the type of smoker that I was and how excessive I would smoke and how high my tolerance had got, I stayed, I'm not gonna say broke, but I spent way too much money on weed. There was a point where I was going broke on weed. Let me not say that. I'm humble enough to say that. But it's like now, me trying to budget and get my life together and fix my debts and all that, I realized I spent way too much money on weed for no reason. Because, yeah, I might start with like a 20 or a 40. That might run out in maybe like a week. Maybe a week. If I'm off like those couple of days. If or it's the weekend, it's over real quick. And then I get some more. And then I get some more. No. I realized that it wasn't really just the weed. It was the addiction, period. It was the void that I was trying to fill. Because when I wasn't smoking, I realized at one point I was about to replace that with drinking. But I don't have the capability of being an alcoholic because I don't like throwing up and shit like that. So it's like that was never the route that I went. But I realized all we ever really do is replace vices. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to fix the source. I want to fix why am I hurting? What am I trying to heal from? Why am I smoking so much? What do I not want to face? And I feel like that's a lot of times what people don't want to ask themselves. So if you're a part of the community of people that are walking along that journey yourself, not even just not smoking, but just wanting to elevate and be better than who they've been, join the crew. If you're somebody that is interested in watching somebody else do it because you want to do it for yourself, but you're not even there yet, join the crew. Hit subscribe. There's no judgment because I have been there. I've been there when I remember I had a mentor that was telling me how she was going on a fast and she was so like her spirit was on fire and like I know God and all that, but I wasn't in it like how I am now, so I didn't get it. But it's like certain things she said then are clicking now, and it just be like, dang, I see why she was so impatient and short with me because it's like, bruh, I see the light on you and you not nurturing it, you not watering it. I understand now. She's never said those things to me, but I've always felt as if she were disappointed in who I was just based off who she saw in me. And she's a God-fearing woman, so I feel like she saw a certain light that had to do with him specifically being on me and trying to change me and me just being hard-headed. Anyway, I just feel like weed affects the community of people around you, and you're going to automatically be surrounded by people that usually aren't doing shit with their life. And I'm not saying like they don't have a house and getting themselves together, but most of them, like, they got a house, they work 9 to 5, and that's just it for them. They're not aiming any higher than that. And I feel like if you're someone that's okay with that, cool, smoke all the weeds you want. But somebody like me that is not satisfied with where I am and I want more, I don't want just a 9 to 5. I want a lifestyle that is lucrative. I want a career in my God-given talents that bless me. And even then, I don't even feel like I'm going to really care to smoke no more because I'm not going to be running from anything. I'm going to be high on life. So I just feel like there's no judgment in wherever you are on your journey right now because I just got here and I'm 29. We all have our own pace. It's not a race. So I just wanted to say that. I hope that this touched somebody. If you feel as though I said something that spoke to your heart and maybe even you have some points that I haven't said, drop it in the comments down below. Let's talk about it because I feel like there's a community of us that want to change, but we're so used to what we have or what we do, or we don't even know the direction to get out of it, or there's always temptation around us, so we just feel like, well, I don't see nothing else but that. So it's like, whatever. I've been there, bruh. I've been there. I'm not judging. So yeah. Y'all have a good old day. Mo is out and yeah. Bye. And don't forget, this is Mo TV where we talk about everything motive and motivate, which means we're gonna talk about self, healing, reflection, accountability, life, God, all that. So if you're ready, let's go.
Go ahead and like it up and subscribe.